business?
All right, so Daniel Asbury, Keystone Capital. We've been in business since February of this year, 2024. So we're a real estate development fund. So what we do is we take outside investor capital and go build housing with it. We have an overarching goal to solve the housing crisis in Ohio. We work primarily with the land bank here in Richland County and looking to expand to other land banks here over the next coming years. We're 3,000 doors short just in Richland County. They had that housing study that came out a few years ago. So we'll be here for a while. Challenges, I would say, just getting our name out there. We're kind of a relatively new concept for the area. People think there's kind of a stigma behind housing in general with, Metro, Section 8, stuff like that. We don't do that at all. And we really want to give people the opportunity to buy as well. So that's kind of our goal. I got into the investment fund space, kind of found out about it in like 2020, end of 2020. And partner with a local developer here that has been building for a while and had a lot of vertical alignment, a lot of similar goals, and just worked out. The scrutiny I wasn't really prepared for. I mean, we haven't really done a whole lot of marketing quite yet. We haven't really needed to. I can deal with scrutiny all right, but it's been a ride, man. I mean, it's been crazy. If you'd asked me 5 years ago if I'd be a fund manager, I'd have told you I wouldn't even know what that is. And everything I've done is, as far as the investment fund space, is self-taught, and it's been a ride. I wouldn't say, come what may. Like I had no expectations. Let's put it that way. So it's been fun. We basically build housing with other people's money, and then we just share profits. So rather than, let's say you're an anesthesiologist and you understand the power of real estate as a, wealth mechanism, but you don't have the time or the energy to go learn it and do it yourself, you'll find an alternative investment class, which is what we are. And you'll say, hey, here's, a decent chunk of change, go grow it for me. And that's all I do. Concept is so simple, but it's the back office complexities that you don't see. Like, we're registered with the SEC. We have FINRA guidelines, EDGAR filings, Blue Sky filings. Like, there's a plethora of things that you need before you can even raise a dime. But we're all compliant and everything. But so there's a lot of stuff on the back end that I've had to deal with that you don't see. All you see is the rubble behind me that we're knocking down buildings and building new stuff. You don't see everything else behind it. There's a lot to it. The simple concept, complex background. Me and the guy I'm partnered with met 2 years ago, and it took us 1.5 years to really get everything lined up before we opened up shop. But now we're rocking and rolling. So we're standing on Tuttle's Landscaping was here for, 80 years probably. They were here for a while. If you're familiar with the area, if you're listening, you'll know Trimble, where that barn was sitting right here. It was like 5 feet off the road. And I was just waiting for that thing to fall over and hit a car or something, man. It was like right on Trimble. So we did save a few trusses from that building after we tore it down, which is pretty cool. But we'll put 20 condos here. We already did the condo filing, the condo association filing. We have that done. We have addresses. We're just working on kind of finishing up some excavation, and then we'll break ground on some foundations probably end of next week. And we'll put 20 condos. 2 of them will be first floor mixed use commercial. So anybody from Nickel and Bean, if you're listening, a Nickel and Bean 2 would kill it right here. And so 10 builds total, 20 condos, 1,500 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. They'll be pretty nice. So Perfect. This is also Lexington School District as well. So it's a nice, sought after area. This is a really good marketing piece for us because what we kind of been doing is like in the background, especially with like land bank lots, they're kind of hidden more downtown area. So this is kind of going to be like here's who we are. This is what we're capable of. Man, I got a crazy story with that. I was a freight broker for about 10 years, and I ended up getting COVID at the end of 2020, and my entire book of business shut down. I had to go, get a manufacturing job here in Lexington, and I remember just sitting during COVID. I took like one bite of my Thanksgiving meal, couldn't even taste it, wanted nothing to do with it. I was just messing around on Google and Googled who makes the most money selfishly, and it wasn't doctors, it wasn't lawyers, it was fund managers. And like from that moment, I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. And I found some online content on YouTube. There's a guy that teaches people how to launch and scale them. I went through every single one of his videos, like over 200 videos, multiple times, and the time I was laid out with COVID. And yeah, just studied and self-taught and decided to partner with somebody who's doing some pretty incredible stuff around here, and it's worked out pretty well so far. From that moment, it was like, I'm figuring it out. I'm going to be a fund manager. Anybody can do it. I mean, I dropped out of college in 2013. Like, anybody can do anything they want to do. It's incredible. If you don't know something, go find somebody that does. It's so simple. I would say our thesis, in this field, there's a lot of, I call them cookie cutter multifamily value add funds. So they'll buy a huge apartment complex, paint some rooms, raise rents by $50 a door, and then sell it in 5 years. We don't want to do that. You're not adding value to anybody. So, with our thesis, we want to solve the housing crisis in the state of Ohio. That's our overarching goal. And the land bank, in my belief, presents that opportunity. It really does. Definitely in other territories. We could go to Franklin County, we can go to Cuyahoga County. We probably will eventually, but it's these mid-markets like Mansfield's. How many Mansfield, Ohios are there across the country that are 3,000 to 10,000 doors short housing, and no one's building because inflation's crazy, or no one in that area just has any interest in building in these smaller to mid markets, and that's kind of the niche we want to hit, is a smaller to mid market. So we'll be in a bunch over the state, I think. Yeah, get a hold of me if you're interested in investing. We are a Regulation D 506C offering, which means we can only deal with accredited investors and up. If you don't know what that is, get a hold of me anyways. I can let you know. It's basically anyone that makes $200,000 a year or more gross, $300,000 household, or it's an or, not an and, $1 million net worth excluding primary residence. So if you qualify in any of those ways and you want to help out with the housing crisis, get a hold of me. 419-603-2231. Come find me. Keystone Capital. Daniel Asbury, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Keystone itself, again, we haven't really done any marketing so far. We do have a LinkedIn and a Facebook page. Not very active on it. I'm a lot of heads right now, so I'm marketing, PR, sales. I'm everything right now, man, and it's been crazy. But our investor portal, if you want to go check out what we're doing, is keystone-capital.investnext.com. That's our investor portal.